Hey everyone, so let's talk about using the iPhone 13 mini here in 2025. And if you're wondering why this looks a bit weird, I have a lens protector on there. So this looks like any other iPhone, except for it is smaller. And if you want a small, pretty powerful phone, there's not too many options, but this is definitely a good option. As you saw there, Face Unlock works so well. It a lot of times doesn't even pop up saying Face ID. It just works, and it just works so well. Then pricing wise, you can get these for around $300 renewed on Amazon in excellent shape. Of course, you don't get excellent, you can save a bit of money. I'd recommend getting the excellent though. It's kind of hit or miss with Amazon with iPhones and the shape they'll be in. But you can get for around $300 or so, at least at the time of making this video here in the US. Let's talk about the camera. It is an okay camera. You have 0.5 up to only 5 times zoom, so it is not the best. There is no macro lens on it. You'd have to get yourself an iPhone 16 if you want the non-pros with a macro lens. But the 13 mini does not have macro lens. Again, only zooms into 5 times. It is not the best. It works well when you're in that range. I mean, the photos look pretty decent, videos look pretty decent. Nothing crazy, nothing stand out on that end there. Let's talk about the speed and power. So going into Monster Hunter now, and we'll see this will load in actually rather fast. And there we go. This will be loading into games or heavier apps than some of even more of the newer phones that are out there today. Go ahead and we'll go into a fight here. And for the most part, it is still really smooth. You will every now and then have a little bit of a hiccup when you're playing. I pretty much just play this. Sometimes play a little bit of Roblox. But for the most part, this is the main game I play. I really almost never have issues with it on the 13 mini. Again, every now and then you have a little bit of a hiccup, but nothing game breaking. Going into Roblox, I know a lot of people will buy these phones for their kids or even for themselves for Roblox. We are in Max Graphics here. Going into Arsenal. Go ahead and hit deploy. And you can see it's hovering around 60 frames per second. And show you guys, we're still around 60 frames per second. It will drop a little bit, but for the most part, you'll be stuck at 60 frames per second. It won't go above it, but it won't really go much below it either. So in other words, very good device for Roblox. If you want a phone for Roblox, I highly recommend the little mini. Going into other apps, like we're going to Facebook here, everything's on load in super fast. Going to Spotify, again, it's almost instant with a lot of these apps. Duolingo, for some reason, is a little bit slower on iPhone than it is on higher end Androids. But again, it still loads in very fast. Go to Best Buy's web or app here. And again, it just loads in super fast. Go into their Spring. And we'll go ahead and we'll hit that. Again, very quick, very small phone. And let's talk about the speakers. So of course it does have dual speakers, does have stereo speakers. Turn this up all the way, it's all there. For how small this phone is, it is actually pretty dang loud, and it sounds actually rather good. As far as connectivity goes, I never have issues with this disconnecting from Wi-Fi. It works just excellently on my Wi-Fi. I do switch between this and usually a bigger phone. When I'm using this as my main phone, I never have really any issues out and about. In my area, I have Verizon. Usually have 5G on this phone. Sometimes it'll go down to 4G in my area, depending on where I am. But I pretty much have never had any issues with it just losing connection, either on Wi-Fi or on Verizon's network. And then we'll go over a little bit of the specs here. So it is only a 5.4 inch display. You only have a 12 megapixel camera. Like I said, it's not going to be the best camera, but it's not going to be the worst thing either. 4 gigabytes of RAM, Only a 2400 milliamp battery on here. So yes, if you're a heavy user, it will probably not last you throughout the day. It does charge up rather fast until it hits like that 80 to 90% charge, and then it kind of starts slowing down on how fast it charges. But it does charge up rather fast, being as it is a small battery. But again, battery life is not going to be the best. It wasn't one that was brand new, and especially when you buy one used, it's not going to have 100% battery health, meaning it's not going to last as long. This does have the Super Retina OLED display, HDR10, as you see here, along with Dolby Vision. Gets up to 800 nits or otherwise 1200 peak. Again, it is pretty bright. It's not going to be the brightest of phones, but I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. At least I never have myself. And as we see here, 476 ppi display. It is a rather good display. Again, I wouldn't call it the best display out there, but I think it is a rather good display. And then last but not least, let's talk about, it is only 141 grams. This thing is super light. I also bought myself one of these super thin, super flexible cases for like, I think less than 10 bucks on Amazon that weighs almost nothing. You kind of forget this is in your pocket, which is quite nice when you're using it, especially when you're used to a big phone that you cannot forget is in your pocket. Dimensions 131.5 by 64 by 7 millimeters there. Again, only 141 grams, 4.97 ounces, super small phone. But with that said, with its 5.4 inch display, I think it is still a very nice compromise, if you will. You get this very small, lightweight phone, but you still get a decent size screen on it. Overall, this is still an excellent phone, of course, as it is not that old of an iPhone. Again, for around 300 bucks, this thing is sweet. You get a pretty small, compact phone that is still pretty powerful and pretty dang quick. Of course, if you have some compromises there, like I said, battery life is not going to be the best. And then the camera is kind of so-so with only 5 times zoom in and no macro lens. You guys let me know what you think, though. I really wish they would make a new version of this. I wish that new 16E would have been this phone casing with new internals. That's me. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.